This video is about how to write the equation for an exponential function from a table when the x values do not change by 1. So for example, in this table, our instinct is to say, oh, we're multiplying by 27. So our growth rate is 27. However, this is a tricky case because you'll notice that the x's are going by 3, not by 1. So we can't just say our growth rate is 27. Instead, I'm going to pick a section of the table to sort of zoom in on. So I'm going to pick these two rows here. And I'm going to create a new table using those rows that does go by 1. So they gave me the row 0, 2. They skipped the row where x is 1, so I don't know what y value would go with that. And they skipped the row where x is 2, so I don't know what y value goes with that, but they did give me the row where x is 3, and I know that the y value that goes with that is 54. So even though I don't know what my rate is yet, I know that when I multiply this y value 2 by the rate, it'll get me whatever y value is in that box. And whatever y value is in that box, I know that when I multiply it by the rate, I'll get whatever's in my next box. And finally, whenever I multiply whatever's in that box by the rate, that's when I'll finally get 54. And so to write this all out as one calculation, I see that when I multiply 2 times my rate, times my rate, times my rate again, that's what gives me 54. So I can write this more simply as 2r to the third power equals 54. Then I can divide both sides by 2. To get r cubed equals 27. Now I can either guess and check to find r here, so I can cube different numbers and see if they give me 27, or I can take the cube root of both sides, and the cube root of 27 is 3. So that means my rate is 3. Now I can go ahead and write my equation. So I know that it's going to be in the form f of x equals a times b to the x because it's exponential, where a is my initial value. Remember, initial value is a fancy word for y-intercept, which is the y value when x is 0, which I can see in my table here. So in this case, my initial value is 2, and my rate I just figured out was 3. So the equation that goes with this table would be 2 times 3 to the x. You can always check your answer by plugging in an x value from the table for x and making sure that you get that value for y. So for example, I can plug in 2 times 3 to the third, and if I do that in my calculator, it should give me 54.